Hello friends, myself Dr. Jamadar, Head Department of Zoology, Arts, Commerce, Science College, Naranggaon. We know zoology is a branch of science which deals with the study of animal. Under zoology, main two branches are there. One is the basic zoology, another is the applied zoology. In the basic zoology, basic study of animal is done. In the applied zoology, applications of the animal for the welfare of mankind is associated. Applied zoology having the different branches like apiculture, fisheries, sericulture, dairy science, vermiculture and so on. Today we are going to study the apiculture. Apis means honeybee and culture means to rear. So the term apiculture means the culturing of honeybee or rearing of the honeybee for the production of the bee product. It is also known as beekeeping. Beekeeping, it is a branch of applied zoology which deals with the rearing and maintenance of the honeybee colonies in order to obtain the different bee product. Apiculture is the practice of beekeeping for the production of various bee products such as honey, bee wax and so on. Now come to the history of the beekeeping. Apiculture or beekeeping is the occur throughout to have the practice as early as 3000 years BC. Humans collecting honey from the wild bees date to 10,000 years ago. Beekeeping is also associated with the pottery vessels began about the 9,000 years ago. Beekeeping starts in the simple pot known as a pottery beekeeping, mainly in the North America. Domestication is shown in the Egyptian art form around the 4,500 years ago. This is simple history of the beekeeping. The ancient Egyptians were particularly skilled in the art of the beekeeping since they considered honey to be an important part of their diet. Temples kept bees in order to satisfy the desire of the god for honey and for the production of the medicines and the ointment. The image shows the history of the beekeeping. The tomb of Papsa, 25th dynasty, it shows the image of the person who is pouring the honey into the vessel, and these are the different bees which are around it. Now in the second image, the person handling the bee combs, which are indicating the history of the beekeeping. Beekeeper, also known as a apiarist, keeps the bees in order to collect their honey and other product that have produces or to pollinate the crop or to produce the bees or to sell the beekeeper. Apiary is the place where beekeeping is done. Bees ancestor evolved 207 to 220 million years ago. So great history is there. Now there are more than 22,000 species of bees are there and 9 species of honeybees are there. Entire all bees are having 22,000 species, and from that 9 species are identified. Now habitat of the honeybees. Honeybees are highly organized, polymorphic terrestrial and social insects. They live in a large colonies in beehive. Beehive is also known as a comb. They exhibit colony organization and well organized division of labor. Polymorphism. Poly means many, morph means form. Many forms are there, for example queen, workers and drone. 3 main forms are there which are associated with the honeybee. Now let come to know the systematic position of the honeybee, also known as a classification. They belongs to phylum Arthropoda, means having the jointed leg. They belongs to class Insecta, which is the largest group of the organism, arthropoda organism, order Hypnoptera. They belongs to family Apiidae and genus Apis. So let's meet these wonderful creatures which are associated. In the single hive, single queen is there, more than 50,000 female workers are there and 100 drones are there. The first image shows the queen bee, then second image shows the worker bees and next image shows the drone bees. Queen bee is the largest, known as the mother of the colony, having the large head, thorax and longer abdomen is there. Then head consists of the head appendages, thorax consists of the thoracic appendages like a leg and wings, and abdomen consists of the abdominal segment. Similar structure is there in the worker having the head, then thorax and abdomen. Drone having head, thorax and abdomen. These are 3 main body divisions. How can we identify the queen? Queen is the longer, having the long elongated abdomen. The largest abdomen is due to the presence of the ovary in it for the production of the egg. Main function of the queen is the mother of the colony, the fertile female, and produces a large number of the egg. Then worker, as name indicate, worker perform different work for the welfare of the bee hive. Then drone, the fertile males are known as the drone. So drones are the male member of the colony. They having very larger eyes. So in the hive, if we observe the longer bee, easily we can say that the queen. Then worker is the shorter bee, and broad and stout bees are the drone, which we can easily identify. Now come to the anatomy of the honeybee. The first body division is the head, second body division is the thorax, and third body division is the abdomen. Then wings are the locomotory organ. They are, due to presence of the wings are well developed, so they help in the flight. Then legs are there. Legs are different joints are there, femur, tibia, tarsus. These are the different joint of the leg. Hence these belong to the phylum Arthropoda. Arthros means jointed and poda means the leg. The insects which having the jointed leg. This image indicate the bee hive. Bee hive is nothing but the nest of the honeybee, also known as the comb. It is the most essential part. Bees cannot do anything without hive. So hive is the main part associated. So there are different types of the hive we observe in our vicinity, we observe in our surrounding. The bee hive sometimes hanging from the branches, then walls of, or the ceilings of the different building or the bridges. Simply you observe in this image some hexagonal cells are there. So hive made of the wax which secreted by the worker bee, and that wax is used for the making the nest. These wax cells having the wax which make the hexagonal cells used for the breeding purpose, also for the storing of the honey, storing of the pollen grains, and different necessities for them. In this you observe some sealed cells are there, known as a capped cells. When these cells filled with the honey, filled with the pollen grains, honey bee seal that cells, known as a cap cell or packed cells. Comb is a really wonder of the architecture. Without any measurement, without any tool, they can prepare their comb, they can prepare their hive, they can prepare their nest. So combs are prepared from the secretions of the wax, and that wax is secreted by only worker bees, and worker bees having the wax secretory glands. There are 8 wax packets present in the abdominal segment. After taking some honey, they hang themselves. When sufficient heat generated by their body, by the muscle contraction, the wax start coming from the wax gland. They made hexagonal wax cell of a ½ inch deep. All the cells are of uniform size. If you observe any hive of the any bee species, all cells are of uniform size and correct measurement without using any tool. This nest, bee choose hexagonal cells. Why bee choose the hexagonal cells? Because if the circular cells are there, they take up more space. So they also utilize the proper space by making the hexagonal cells rather than round, square, rectagonal cells. Then the size of the bee comb being maximum during the breeding season. During the breeding season, the brood, they increases their brood, they also collect the flower, they also store the more and more honey. Now there are different species of the honeybees. There are mainly 9 species of honeybees, from which 4 are more commercially important. For example, Apis indica, then Apis dorsata, Apis florea, then Cyphriphidae is there, diphtherin flies are there, then unidentified bee species are there. So commonly Apis florea, Apis indica, Apis dorsata, these are a very common species of the honeybees. These bee species, in the first image you can observe Indian hive along with the Apis indica. Then it is an Italian honeybee known as Apis mellifera. You can easily observe that they are nearly somewhat a dark brown colored, they are faint colored, which are Apis mellifera. So these common species which are deals with our syllabus, one is the Apis dorsata, known as a larger bees, also known as a rock bees. त्याला मराठीमध्ये आग्यामोळ असं म्हटलं जातं, Apis dorsata. Secondly, Apis indica is there. And Apis mellifera, Apis florea, these are the garden bees. You can easily identify the differentiation between the three common species which are occur in our surrounding. One is the Apis dorsata, which is the largest bees having a sting. Then these bees, the largest bee also known as a rock bee. Then Apis mellifera is there and Apis serena indica is there. From that, Apis dorsata is somewhat difficult to domesticate because they are very ferocious and horror bees. They attack human being and most of they are able they are cause the death of the human being as they attack the single individual. Then Apis mellifera, Apis serena, they are not such a ferocious you may say the behavior, they can easily domesticated. So in this way we studied the beekeeping as well as the different types or the species of the honey bees. So thank you very